In this episode, you'll discover Maui's best local spots to eat on the South Shore and West Side, including Lahaina. You'll also discover which recently reopened restaurants are ready for visitors and the hidden food truck spots in Kihei many people miss. Aloha and welcome to Hawaii's Best, the podcast helping travelers plan an unforgettable Hawaii vacation with insider tips and featuring local voices. I'm Brian Murphy, a husband, dad of 3, and certified Hawaii destination expert. Each week, I share local insights, travel tips, and up-to-date news, sometimes with guests across Hawaii and sometimes solo, all to help you plan your next trip to Hawaii. Welcome to Hawaii's Best. On the show, we love learning from local businesses and local voices and helping to travel with Aloha. And today I'm thrilled to continue in part 2 of our Maui food guide and welcome back Lisa Pierce, a longtime Maui resident and creator of the popular blog, A Maui Blog. In part 2 of our conversation about the best Maui food guide, she's going to talk about the South Shore Maui and the West Side, including Lahaina. Now, many visitors make the mistake of limiting their Maui dining experience to only hotel restaurants or just popular spots. And many people miss the authentic flavors that locals love. And by the end of this episode, you'll know exactly where to go for the best local eats on Maui's South Shore and West Side, from Kihei's food trucks to reopened restaurants in Lahaina. You also learn how, by visiting these spots, they go to support the local community as they continue to rebuild. If you missed part 1, I'll link it in the show notes below, so be sure to listen to that episode after this one for North Shore and Central Maui spots. All right, let's go ahead and let's talk story with Lisa.
Let's talk story.
All right, last time we were North Shore. We had some amazing sushi at Nuka.
Yep.
And now it's time to make our way back South Shore, West Side. Take us out on North Shore and down south.
Down south. Okay, that's where I live. So I live in Kihei, and yeah, it's a great place to live. A lot of nice beaches, but a lot of places to eat and enjoy the local food.
Awesome.
So where do we start? Let's start with Nalu's.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, Nalu's is in Aseka's place, and they serve breakfast, lunch, and dinner. So, whenever you're available, you can try it. But great food. They have this seared ahi sandwich that is like super popular. But when I go there, I order this fish with lilikoi dressing or sauce on this. It is so good. They have also like a local music sometimes, Friday night, Saturday night. It's an open place. It's not air conditioned. It's open air. Go there for breakfast. Acai bowl is very popular with them. Okay, so Nalu's. And then the next one is The Kitchen. You remember The Kitchen was very, very popular. They used to have 2 places, one in Rainbow Mall and one in Kahului. During COVID, they actually really got affected. They closed their Rainbow Mall place, and then eventually they also closed their Kahului. So for some time, we didn't have The Kitchen, but they came back. So now they are on this little corner place next to Long's in Aseka, Kihei. And they have the same good food. People are just starting to discover them, that they're there now. And they have, the popular chicken katsu, teriyaki chicken. They have the noodles also. And they have the fried spam musubi. And they're
interesting.
Really good.
Yeah, I haven't had fried spam musubi.
It's not very healthy, but
well, yeah,
it's really good. So you can indulge, every now and then, not on a regular basis. They're super popular before, and so now I just want to mention that they're back. They have big portion. That's one thing about The Kitchen. Their local plate lunches. They have huge portion that when my husband and I go there, we can actually split one plate lunch for both of us. And we're still full after we eat it. So yeah, so it's at the corner next to Long's in Kihei. And then another popular place to eat here is Kihei Cafe. Kihei Cafe, the original place is in front of the Kalama Park in Kihei. It used to be that the line is so long that you have to go there very early in the morning to be able to get a seat. And you stay in line. It's a little kind of old place and they have some outside seating, but it's limited. But their food is so good, also big portion. Macadamia nut pancake or their fried rice. So people go there. Word of mouth, they're very popular. The good news is that they open another location in Kihei as well.
Oh, okay.
So if you go to the original location, the line is long, you have an option. Go to the next location, which is at Maui Coast Hotel. So they have an open area place there. And so they're more seating, but saying good food. And so it's just a block away, a couple blocks away from the original place. So yeah, Kihei Cafe. Another good one is coconuts. Coconuts and their specialty or they're popular for their fish tacos, which is not the usual taco, not the usual Mexican taco that you would expect.
Okay.
This one's got mangoes.
Nice. Yeah, of course.
And this like unique
Yeah,
flavor. So either you like it or you don't, but I love it. So some are surprised, like this is not like the usual taco I would expect, but they're very popular. They have, I think they've been number one recommended in TripAdvisor or Yelp. I can't remember which one. They also have two locations in Kihei, one in Azekas and then one in front of Kamaole. It's Kamaole Sands Shopping Center, I think is the name of the place, but in front of Kamaole Beach too. They're on the second floor and yeah, go try that food. It's convenient. I think they only serve lunch and dinner. I'm not sure. I don't think they serve breakfast.
And the cafe, the one you mentioned prior, is good for breakfast. Yeah, like people are looking for a good breakfast spot.
Cafe is breakfast. That's their specialty. Is Kihei Cafe's specialty is breakfast. And then, lunch. I'm not sure. I think the Maui Coast ones now serve dinner. The original spot don't serve dinner.
Oh, okay.
I think the Maui Coast might be serving dinner now because, they're in that hotel. Yeah. But double check on that one. Okay. So now there's this best kept secret in Kihei, which is not really a best kept secret anymore because people started talking about it. But it is called South Maui Gardens.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
And in South Maui Gardens, there is a section there that's called Kihei Food Oasis. And what it is it's part of many different food trucks that serve really good food. And so the South Maui Gardens, that's why you call it the best kept secret, is because you'll never know that it's got this whole thing inside that block of area. From the outside, it's just the usual kind of like, there's some plants building. You'll pass by it without knowing about it. But now they have a sign. They have this blue old car in front. So, you won't miss it. And they have a big parking lot. Again, that's, always a plus. When they have a parking lot, you don't have to go drive around looking for places to park. But inside there, so they have the Food Oasis food truck on one side. But on the other side, they have sit down like bakery, Kitoko bakery and food place. It's a gourmet. This is the most gourmet food truck you'll find. And it's in the place. It's like 4-star kind hotel food. Okay. But it's in this section in South Maui Gardens. And then they have coffee shop. So they're open also breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
Okay.
You just have to go on. The other section is more breakfast. The other section is more lunch and dinner. But you can roam around. It's a beautiful place. It's got gardens, a lot of places to sit down, and it's so peaceful in there. You can bring your kids. You can even bring your dog. And then also they have a section where now you can do weddings because it's a beautiful garden.
Yeah, okay.
So you can do weddings there. It's a wedding venue now. And also they started doing hula show.
That's cool.
So it's an economical hula show if you don't want to spend too much money on a hula show because it can be expensive. this is an alternative that they have this great hula show, but it doesn't come with food. So now you go there and you just buy your own food before the show.
Oh, I love that.
From their
Yeah.
food trucks. Yeah. The show starts and you're there watching the show.
That's great.
So yeah, it's a great place. So people should check on that.
It's near Kalama Park, yeah?
It's the cross from Kalama
Okay.
Park, and it's gonna behind the Kihei Surf
Okay.
building. Yeah. And speaking of food trucks, I should also mention the original food truck pod that people go to behind Asekas. So there is also a section there with a lot of good food. They have Kraken coffee in there. They have Vidad's Filipino food. I love Filipino food. They have Maui burger. Yeah, it's called, I think, Maui Food Trucks in
Of
Kihei.
Kihei, yeah.
I think that's the name.
Yeah.
But it's behind Asekas. You won't miss it because they have a section there. It's easy to find, kind of close to Long's also. So yeah, we have a great food truck scene. And one more food truck place, actually, is next to South Maui Gardens, the Kihei Food Oasis. It's in Alele Road. It started with one Happy Belly food truck, and then Kihei Fish started. And now it's like the whole place, Kraken coffee in there too. So now when you go to that section of Kihei, you don't only go to one food truck pod, you get two food truck pods because they're side by side next to each
Gotcha.
other.
Okay. Yeah.
So yeah, they have this ice cream food truck that's made from natural fruit that you'll find there. So that's a good dessert after you finish all your food from different food trucks.
So where you're at, you mentioned your Kihei area.
Uh-huh.
Well, I know we're talking about, we're localsy, but is there a spot where you like to go, like Mama's Fish House, you go
Yes.
to celebrate? Like, is there a spot or two around here that you would go to like, splurge a little bit?
Yes, definitely. There are a lot, but I'll mention some of my favorite. One of them is Ko Restaurant in Fairmont, Kealani. And I love it because it's fine dining, but they also specialize in like the fish dish. It has the cultural component
Okay.
on the menu, but it's high end. It's the hotel. It's similar to Mama's Fish House, and so special occasion, that's where we go, Ko. And, also Monkey Pod is a popular place.
I love monkey pie.
Yeah, Monkey
Goodness.
Pod. Of course, you got to have the Lilikoi Mai Tai, right?
Of course. And then sometimes we'll do the Noko'oi. It's like a ocean vodka drink. It's good.
Yeah.
We like the bulgogi tacos there.
Yeah, the tacos. You go to happy hour, you
Oh,
get,
Yeah.
half off, I think, or something like that.
It's a pretty good happy hour. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, and then, but their dinner is always full also. You have to make reservation. But we go there also for some special occasion. Well, those are the two places that we usually
Okay.
frequent to when we're talking like, sit down special dinner. But I'm sure there are other places,
Yeah. Real quick, I just want to pop in here and say I hope you're enjoying this episode. I have a simple ask to help support the podcast. Don't worry, I'm not selling anything. This isn't an ad. I just want to ask if you found any value in listening to Hawaii's Best is to simply follow the podcast on the app you're using right now. If you're on Apple Podcasts, just tap that little follow button in the top right corner. Or if you're on Spotify, for example, hit the follow button there. It's that easy, and doing so helps more people like you who love Hawaii find the show. Thanks so much for considering it. And now back to the episode. So that's Kihei, great spot there. We've had a few people in Kihei on the podcast, from Ellie from Tutu's Pantry, Maui Brewing Company, and also Pizza Madness. And part of that crew that was on a year and a half ago was in response to the Lahaina fires and how people can, at that time, tangibly support via Venmo and stuff like that, and supporting local. And then now that parts of Lahaina have reopened, we're heading over to Lahaina now. I want to just hear, before we jump into some of the spots that are open now, what is the sentiment like visiting West Side in Lahaina, and what should visitors know? What should visitors expect when visiting?
So, as always, the main theme or the main kind of reminder that we always say is be respectful. And what that is, you just don't go to places that you're not supposed to go. Like Front Street, you just don't go and kind of started observing out there when it's blocked that says, do not go in.
Mhm.
And also, just with the people, I would expect that, you just don't keep on asking them about, the fire. Some of them are still sensitive about it.
Mhm.
So, just enjoy and see what you can support, how you can support them. But yeah, the restaurants are opening up. And actually, there are restaurants on the side of Front Street where they did not have the fire,
Okay.
starting from the old Lahaina luau. And then there's a row of different restaurants there that we'll mention and share that they're open. And, people are needing jobs, and they need, the businesses need to survive. And so we welcome visitors just as long as they're respectful. The interesting thing is when in my blog I talk about this,
Hmm.
and there's one comment I got. They said, "You don't have to tell us to be respectful. We are already."
Hmm.
It's kind of like, it's like, it's just a reminder.
Yeah.
We're not saying that they are not, but it's good to have that aloha. It could be a different culture. And so it's just a reminder of that there is a culture here wherein, you just don't be entitled.
Mhm.
The attitude is the attitude that, it's not the attitude of, oh, we're coming here to spend money and, we should be, kind of treated like, we're entitled.
Mhm.
It shouldn't be that way. It should be come with aloha and, you're sharing the place, enjoying Maui, and just have that aloha spirit with the people.
Okay. Yeah, it's always a great reminder, no matter-
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we don't want people to think that we're saying that people who are coming here are not respectful, but it's always a good reminder
Yeah.
to say that.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Let's eat.
Okay, so let's start before we go down to Lahaina. That will be our finale. Let's go to Ka'anapali first.
All right.
So there are restaurants that are popular, both visitors and local. And these are the restaurants that are owned by TNS restaurants. And if I mention the name, I'm sure most of you are already familiar with it. And they are Hula Grill, Lailani's, or Duke. And they're known for their fish tacos, the macadamia nut crusted fish. They also have the Maui beef, that if you're not into fish, they have beef and chicken dishes. But they are really good. They are at Whalers Village, the Hula Grill, and Lailani's Whalers Village, which is, the place itself, you can roam and, explore. But the location of the restaurants are on the beach side. So you have that beautiful scenery while you're eating your dinner or lunch. They have lunch and
Yeah.
dinner.
We had Leilani's on the podcast, so I'll be sure to
Oh, you did?
link
Cool.
that the GM there, Jason. I don't know if he's still the GM, but yeah, he was on, and it was great because we're at second floor, wasn't open yet, so we went up there and did the episode,
Yeah.
and we just dolphins were out swimming. It was just such a beautiful day, man. On the west side, we were there.
It
was beautiful. Yeah.
It's beautiful. So we always recommend us when we have visitors, we have friends and family coming in to visit us, from the mainland. We always take them to one of those restaurants, Lailani's or Hula Grill or Duke's. Actually, we haven't gone to Duke's part, but they are also there in a montage. We never miss it. And you know why we also always go there? It's because of the hula pie.
Yeah. Yeah. So good.
You gotta try the hula pie when you come visit those restaurants. You want to describe what the hula pie is? Sure, you're familiar with it, right?
Yeah. No, we had it when we were there. It's just huge. It's a huge slice. So you can share it.
Yes.
And it's got like this crust on the bottom, right? What's that? It's like a
yes, macadamia nut
yeah. It's got
crust.
the macadamia nut crust, and it's just it's so
and then
good.
the chocolate
The
syrup.
chocolate syrup, yeah.
Yeah, it is so good. My husband can eat the whole thing without sharing. So
It's definitely big enough
it's
to
so
share.
hard to
so.
share. It's like, should we order 2 or 1? Because if it's only 1, it's like he will eat them all.
Right.
It is very, very good dessert. So I'm sure you'll find them on Instagram. It's very Instagram worthy
Yeah.
dessert. And so, yeah, so we mentioned that. They also have now a monkey pod on the west side, in Whalers Village as well. Another spot that I would like to mention this is not the usual places to go for dessert, for dinner or lunch, but it's very popular for breakfast. It's called Papi's Ohana. And their specialty, they're in Kananapili side, I think Kahana. Their specialties is this cinnamon roll.
Ooh.
Very popular spot that people line up, like super long line in the morning just to be able to get Papi's Ohana cinnamon roll. So I thought I'd mention that,
Nice.
if you want to try something new, check that out. Papi's Ohana. So that's on the Kaanapali side. Kapalua, just to mention Kapalua, special place is the banyan tree at the Ritz-Carlton and also the Burger Shack next to the Fleming Beach, DT Fleming Beach. We went there last December. I did a staycation. Oh, and that Burger Shack, all their food are all so good. And then our dinner at the banyan tree was super special as well. So yeah, so there's some more. I mean, I can go on and Kaanapali and Kapalua side, but maybe some other time.
Sure. Yeah.
We'll mention the ones we did not mention here because we need to go to Lahaina
Yeah,
side.
let's go. Okay.
Let's go, Lahaina. Okay, so the popular places there, Aloha Plate Lunch. That's next to the ocean as well, next to the old Lahaina Luau. And it's kind of interesting. They closed it down during COVID and then now they're open again. But people love that place. You want to experience the local plate lunch specialty and you're on the west side, go there at the Aloha Plate Lunch. And the sister company and it's right next to it too, is Star Noodles. And as the name says, their specialties noodles, but they also have other food that you can order from them, the usual hamburger, and they have this dessert malasada. If you don't, malasada is like the local donut. They have that dessert there that's super, super good. But the garlic noodle is the popular one that people order. Then you go farther down and you'll see Honu restaurant. And then next to Honu, I'm not very familiar with the Honu, but I have to mention it because it's also recommended. But next to it, one of my favorites is Mala's Tavern. So it's right next to the ocean. They have really good food as well. So anything you order on Mala's is really good. I think my husband had hamburger there too.
Okay.
They actually recently hosted Lahaina Food and Wine Festival.
Okay.
Just to encourage people to come and let people know that Lahaina is open on that side of Lahaina at least. And so they did the Lahaina Food and Wine Festival, and it's the first, and they're going to do it again next year.
Well, that's cool.
It's gonna be an annual event. So yeah, Mala Tavern. Across the street from Mala Tavern is Coco Deck, and it used to be The Kind, but they rebranded. It's now Coco Deck. They got Simon there. That's really good. And the chef, Kitchen Assassin, is his Instagram name. Yeah, a lot of specialty, unique flavor, but also with the local touch. Yeah, and so those are the places in Lahaina that I would recommend.
Awesome. Man, there is so many on my list that I need to get back. That's a great guide. I mean, is there a spot? Because I know a lot of people, they're staying west side and they want to drive road to Hana for the day. Are there any like fast serve spots that you would recommend just kind of like as you're going?
Yeah, I'm trying to think. They used to have that in Paia. It probably might even be the Paia Fish Market that we mentioned.
Okay.
And the Toby's, on Paia side. I'm just thinking if I'm going to Hana, that will be the spot that I will stop.
It's a kind of a quicker serve.
A quicker
Yeah.
serve. Okay, so now if you're coming from Kihei and you just want to bring sandwiches, on your trip, pack it,
Oh, sure.
put it in a
Right.
little. I would recommend, there are two places that I would recommend. One is Fork and Salad. So they have sandwiches as well.
Okay.
And so those are the good ones to bring, as you go along and traveling in your car, you can eat, the sandwiches and they're packed ready for you to go. Another sandwich place, salad and sandwich place is 808 Deli. They are actually where the kitchen in Rainbow Mall used to be.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and so they specialize in sandwiches and salad as well. So yeah, those are the two places that I would recommend when you're going out and about driving, but you want to pack a place that have something to eat, in your car. Then those are the two ones. And then if you're in Kahului,
Yeah.
then might as well stop by Tin Roof.
Right. I mean, we've talked so much and we're going to list everything and we'll list in the show notes. But what other, maybe one or two tips would you want visitors to know just in general when visiting Maui specifically?
The reservation is a good thing, because you'll never know, like we said, it's a little bit slow, but still there are sometimes difficulty with the labor, the servers, the scheduling. And so you never know the schedule. So it's better to make reservations early. Well, that's one tip I would give is make reservation. And then the other one is actually give good tips. This is a community wherein the service is really important. And so some forget that, the service industry, the servers rely on tip as well. So it's a good way to just give aloha to people.
Right. Okay.
Tip well, right?
Well, good. I know we mentioned in episode 1, we talked more about a Maui blog and where people can find you. But for maybe if someone didn't listen to episode 1, and I want to encourage you to go back and listen to episode 1, but where can people find you and follow along with you and your journeys?
Like what you said, the blog, but I'm also active on Instagram.
Okay.
So when they want to see, all the things that have been mentioned here, you'll probably see Instagram reels I created about those restaurants in there, and I post a lot about sunset because people like to relax and watch sunset and, the ocean. So there's a lot of them in there. I'm also I started doing YouTube actually.
What?
Visit Live Love Maui. And a lot of YouTube shorts, which are similar to the reels. But yeah,
Right.
If you're more on YouTube than Instagram, then you'll find me there too.
Awesome. Well, this has been quite a journey. I can't wait to get back on Maui, and I hope to meet up. There's so many people from doing the podcast that I get back on Maui. I want to, there's 5 people I want to meet, when I'm there, and you're definitely one of them. And Ellie and the people, the staff at Ulani's and Pizza Madness, just want to get back and having you talk about the food and so much about culture is food and food is culture. And I just want to say thank you for your time and everything that you've put into both of these episodes. I'm sure for people listening, it's going to be super valuable because it's one thing to search on Yelp and Google and just kind of hope that those reviews are going to lead you to the right spot. But it's one thing to get someone like you, an expert guide on Maui, talking about the actual spots is super helpful. So thank you.
Oh, thank you. Thank you for having me. I'm, happy to share and just happy to share about these local businesses.
Awesome.
And looking forward to you visiting.
That's right. Awesome. Thank you so much. And aloha.
Aloha.
That wraps up our food journey across South Shore and West Maui for part 2. And for part 1, be sure to go back and listen to that after this episode. We cover spots from Kihei to reopened restaurants in Lahaina, cover a lot of local favorites and some ones that you have probably already heard of as well, but some ones definitely add to the list on your next trip to Maui. And remember, Lisa's tips, make sure to make reservations, tip well within your budget. That supports, local workers, and visit West Maui respectfully as the community continues to heal and rebuild. And for more Maui tips, check out amauiblog.com, where you can find Lisa's Maui guidebook that includes more tips like how to learn local culture prior to visiting. Mahalo again for listening to Hawaii's Best. And until next time, as always, live with aloha. Mahalo for listening to this episode of Hawaii's Best. To stay up to date on future episodes, hit follow on your podcast app. Hawaii's Best is a production of Shorebreak Media Group. with editing by Easy Podcast Solutions. And music courtesy of our friends, Stick Figure.